Good evening everyone, welcome here. We are in Germany, we are here at Norisring. And probably you already know this track if you follow DTM, but we are in a very peculiar racetrack. As this only 2.3 kilometers long racetrack will be our home for the next hour. I'm Cristian Romano, and for tonight I'll be your voice for the 11th round of GSI, the GSI MX5 Cup. Let me just take this one here, okay. The GSI MX5 Pro Series, in which there are several prizes and bound for the podium sitters that probably will already be declared in this very race, because it's very, well, not really that close for the top 3, but we will get that in short time. Little review about the racetrack. We are, as I said, in the Norisring, which is only 8 turns long and 2.3 kilometers long. But its first, it was born in effectively 1948, mostly as a motorcycle circuit, and then it became more proper to the 4 wheels championships. It held DTM since 2000. And it effectively became a racing venue for cars and racing cars, rather, in the 1970s. But again, the track is very peculiar. One hairpin, actually 2 hairpin, and an effective chicane, and that's the track. The entirety of the track is composed of these 2 hairpins and a chicane. I'm not even exaggerating, and it's actually pretty fun. To watch DTM, at least here. Remarkably, I remember a certain driver in the Red Bull Academy that had that race here and disaster struck into turn 1. But anyway, as I said, DTM comes here since 2000, but also the Porsche Carrera Cup, Germany, Porsche Carrera Cup Germany, held several rounds here, and GT4 Germany since 2024. In the past it was also TCR Europe and the V Series racetrack, with also the F3 European Championship and a couple more championships here and there in the years prior. But in any case, in the DTM, a single lap here was only 46 seconds long. Nico Müller currently has the track record. In the standings, as I said, things might end tonight, as Edoardo Cavalli, 7,000 points, Jake Black follows, Enrico Gallardi in 3rd, but realistically we could see the end of the championship for tonight, because if I get a look at the standings, whoever is in 1st has 800 points. So ultimately, I just need to be sure about it. Okay, so as you can see, it's only short of 700, so to be perfectly safe about it, Cavalli just has to score a tiny bit more than Black in the standings, whilst Gallardo can still have 2nd place. Takuyuki Okubo follows behind, but there is a drop round, if I remember correctly. A drop run should be counted. So in any case, the podium is about to take a shape. Realistically, this is just going to be among Cavalli, Black and Gallardo. Although Okubo is a bit close to Gallardo, a bit less than 800 points, but with the weeks being counted, I don't think there is a chance for Okubo. Unless, because the drop run has already been counted, which was 463 points in the 7th week. But yeah, in any case, the drop run already has been counted, so I don't think there will be a chance, although I remember that there is a drop round. But anyway, back into another results, because these are the results from the last race. Really update. Cavalli won in front of Black and Gallardo, Kirillov and Barale completing your top 5, and then it was Okubo that unfortunately had a drive-through, Galaxy, Villa, Anderson completing in 9th, and Frankie completing your top 10. This is the full race results for the Sonoma round that happened last week. For all the 26 drivers that were present. And if you are wondering what they are fighting for, well, these are the incorrect prices. I wanted to show you these ones. These ones are the prices for the podium sitters. Whoever arrives in first as an FPE V2 wheel, GXL V2 for whoever arrives in second, and who arrives in third goes home with an Interlock Ultra, and all 3 wheels brought by GSI. But in any case, if you're not participating in the MX5 GSI series, these are all the prices in the 20th season. Okay. As you can see on screen at the moment, I was just trying to put things around, and I think I can also go into live. Yes, I can. As you can see, oh, there is a car off. That was Cavalli. Oh, that was Cavalli into the wall. That's a very rare sight. Already a couple of cars set time. Cavalli for now leads the qualifying session. Gallardo follows in second. Koa for now in third in the car number 57. With Black oddly only 4th at the moment. There aren't a lot of drivers this evening, only 20 drivers registered for the event, but that's also because of the series coming to an end after 12 weeks. This one is the last, the second to last. The last one will be on a pretty unknown racetrack, Bilsterberg. And let's go for a lap with Jake Black. That was turn number 2. That was a hairpin. The first of the 2 hairpins. Then turn 3, which is flat out. And then the chicane, turn 4 and 5. As close to the wall as possible. Then throwing yourself on the outside. You really want to hide the walls. Then over, I would say the curb, but that's not really a curve. And then the final hairpin, which I don't want to call. It's Dunsedrik Kere. I'm very sorry, German viewers. And then turn 8 on Wöthener Street. Strecke, very likely. Don't think it's street. I don't know German, it's pretty obvious that. And that wasn't a better lap time for Black. That's went into the wall. A couple of cars were a bit slower compared to him. Okubo! Look at him! Takayuki Okubo. Never mind. I hoped for a bit, for a very brief moment, I hoped for something different. But Cavalli goes back in his usual spot, with Cavalli ahead of the rest. Okubo 21 milliseconds only behind. That's not really bad. And the number 77, even the last time around, Sonoma, he was having a very good race, and then the race started, and the drive-through happened. He was about to have a very good one. And maybe this one could be the follow-up of that for the Japanese driver. Koa in 3rd place. The 57 is also on a good run. Anderson finds himself in 4th. And Gallardo and Black are 56. Okubo goes back into pole. 1 minute and 9 tenths only. And Cavalli wasn't able to effectively put forward the purple lap. For once, he is behind someone. 3 milliseconds only behind Okubo, and Gallardo goes into third. 5 milliseconds only behind. 1 minute 9:21 for Okubo, 1 minute 9:24 for Cavalli, 1 minute 9:26 for Gallardo, with Koa following 3 times behind Anderson in 5th. And Black is really having a bad time right now. His teammate is in 3rd. He is effectively still battling for the podium. And his teammate already has a big advantage over him. 545 milliseconds at the moment for Gallardo and Black. Kirillov 7th at the moment, although it goes over the line, and that's not an improvement. The car remains in 7th. There is an improvement for GSI Albert, who is now in 10th. In Sonoma, it was a beautiful race for GSI Albert. And then he had to go into the pits, which this day I still don't know why. I suppose because of fuel issues. Black now in 4th. Just a millisecond short of a flat 300 milliseconds off the pole lap with a 1:01.2. But this is a very short lap. And 3 temps are a lot. But here, Takayuki Okubo could actually be in pole for tonight's race. And as long as it doesn't get a drive-through for standard procedures, we might see a very, very nice race for a possible win. Who knows? Maybe the podium is not that far away. I mean, a drop around effectively is in place, but not 2. I don't think it's 2, so there is still a chance for Okubo to make it into the podium, but he really needs... Okay, definitely, he has it. He has it this time. A 10 from Cavalli. Although, into the slipstream, can he get an improvement? Oh, yes, he can! That's a purple lap for Cavalli, 1:00.792. And never mind what I said, that's a purple lap for Gallardo, 1:00.747. Top 3 is on fire. Black is still nowhere compared to his teammate, Zalewski. New addition for... No, never mind that Zalewski was also in the same car in Sonoma. But he was a new addition for the championship in Sonoma. Now he's in 11th, Wojciech Zalewski, the Polish driver. Let's see if Black can improve. He has to do it. And he doesn't improve, he remains in 4th. Very far away. Nearly 5 times away from the current pole sitter. And in all of these 11 rounds, I never acknowledge the team's name. Hi Racing, effectively. So Hi Racing that has 3 cars at the moment. And the checkered flag waves, so this is the last opportunity for everyone to get an improvement on their position. Oh, that was as close as possible to the wall. That the car behind was literally in the wall for a brief moment. As Fricker actually just submitted a better time than Black. 4th place for Python Fricker. And Anderson goes into 4th. Okoa goes into 4th. 2.5 times away from pole. Okubo wasn't able to improve, Cavalli wasn't able to improve, and Gallardo will be your pole sitter for tonight. With Fricker in 6th, Black in 7th, Kirillov still on track, so there could still be a very final moment. He won't be around next week. Ah, okay. But yeah, as I said earlier, he could win the championship this evening. As Kirillov improves, but not enough to get into 7th, and that was the end of the qualifying session. As I said, this could actually be the final round for the championship win. As I can see from here, he needs 7,060. Actually, he just needs 80 points to be your championship winner. So he has to arrive first, and then he automatically wins the championship. Otherwise, I should get a look for Black's position, which at this point is not a concern for Cavalli. So realistically, with only 80 points needed, drop around the counter since he wasn't around in week number 9. And Black's championship could actually take a sharp turn, because Lily Gallardo is behind. Only 260 points behind, so for the podium, the battle is still there. And Takehiko Kubo could still be in the podium, although it is very difficult. He requires both Black and Gallardo to effectively set at 0 somewhere during the championship, which doesn't seem plausible, but never say never. I think the qualifying results should be in, and the answer is this is Sonoma. They aren't. We are not the refresh. Okay, never mind. I think we will not see the results in time, as only 45 seconds remain before the race starts. I will try another final time, otherwise I'll just deal with it. Okay, never mind then. The race isn't on this time. So Gallardo and Cavalli, row number 1, Okubo, Kowa, row number 2, Anderson, Fricker, row number 3, then Black, Kirillov, Villa completing your top 10, Frankie, Galaxy, with Jesse Albert, Zalewski, Garcia, Stopka, Diker, Mashas, Müller, Irwin Nekazero completing your 21 cars grid. This time it is Ian Müller, not Dennis. But here we are for the start at the Norisring. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it's green light and away we go. This time nobody has a drive-through. And Okubo actually had a better start than Cavalli for a brief moment, although I think in progression it was the Brazilian having a better run into turn number 1, and then by the end of turn number 1 we are into the hairpin into turn number 2. Oh, there was a bit of an early braking for the 57. Kaua was braking a bit too early, and the contact happened with Anderson behind it, lost a position on Black. So now Gallardo has a chance to go away. Cavalli is still in second, and Okubo in 3rd. Kaua follows in 4th, probably some damage on the rear, but nothing too much to worry about. Fricker in 5th, Black gains the position on Anderson, as I said earlier. And then Kirillov, Galaxy and Garcia now in 10th place. Although you can see there, that's Kirillov going for a move on Anderson, the American driver, on the outside into the second hairpin. And that's going to be Kirillov, the Bulgarian driver, jumps a place. And Anderson is now in 8th, although Galaxy, with a different livery, could still be there. Although this is still not over. Anderson, with a very good exit out of the hairpin, managed to remain in 7th, but outside of, for some reasons, of the slipstream. And the bumper draft may happen between the two behind, but for now we will remain here. Although, that was a bit wide for Cavalli. Okubo has a chance, but he doesn't get it. He remains in his position, and behind Kirillov gains the place. Into the inside went, and that was the 7th place for Kirillov. This time it is effective, and the Bulgarian remains ahead of the American driver. Garcia, Frankie a bit in difficulty. Villa with Stopka. I was seeing some moves. I think it was Albert trying an attack on Stopka. But nothing too much to worry about. Although, as you can see now, Albert goes into the inside of the hairpin, of the second hairpin, to conclude the lap. And Stopka will lose the place on Albert momentarily or definitely, and the answer is the second. Effectively now, that's the top car behind Albert for 13th place. Still here, that was a bit of a lunge with the 57 that had to take evasive action in the meantime, and this is just helping Black because he could get ahead of Faker. But that didn't happen, or maybe it will happen actually. It's the opposite. Faker goes into the inside, and that's a switch of positions between Faker and Koa. With Koa that actually went into a half spin, losing the position. Also Black and Kirillov is now in 5th place. This is a disaster for Black, who is battling with Koa to remain at least in 7th place. And Anderson is now in 6th. Koa still on the inside, but nothing happens. Slightly on the curb before the 57. There was a little tap between the two, and Black now is in 7th, with Koa in 8th. Galaxy that gains the place on Garcia very slow on the run to the main straight. It's freeway behind, although you can see from here. For now, Black defends the inside, and he managed to he crashes into another car, and that's a 23 off. Disaster for Anderson, who gets demolished by Black that was trying an impossible move into Koa, and that's another pair of issues for Black, because now he has damage on the car. And as you can see, he's not even turning anymore. The 34 in great danger into the wall once again. And that's free wide once more. This time on the backside. More contact between Black and Koa. Look at that. I think Black is pretty angry with either Koa or himself. But out of clear displeasure, that's the number 57 that will go into the inside line. And that's another position lost for Black. Galaxy, also another possible overtake that could happen. Meanwhile, nearly into the wall for this number 34. These two are not really coming down. If not the opposite, I think these two are going to crash each other one more time if they continue like this. But the cars behind are certainly looking for gold, because this could be a very interesting position for everybody behind. With Koa defending inside a bit out of nowhere. That's the car number 62 with Villa overtaking 2, maybe 3 cars even. He was behind both Anderson and Garcia. Now he's in 9th, and Galaxy could become the next objective for Villa. Although Jack Black still in difficulties. Now Koa could finally run away from Black, and Galaxy could become a great danger for the high racing car. And now back into the inside, into the second hairpin. Can he change? He goes deep into the brakes, locks a lot of the brakes. He really wanted to stop the car and everyone behind him. And now, also there, I think it is Anderson about to lose the position, even on Albert. Anderson just lost the position on Frankie. Now Anderson in 12th place. He was starting very high into the grid. I think he was starting in 6th, but the damage that he inherited after the incident into turn 1 probably is not really helping. For now, everything remains normal. Never mind what I said. That's Aita Garcia going into the inside and to retake the position on Villa, going into the wall. And also behind it was Anderson and Frankie switching positions. With Anderson now on the outside. Never mind, this is inside for the chicane. And he makes it into 11th. Frankie loses the position. He's now in 12th place. And Black actually managed to at least get 6th, but I don't think this is over. Garcia, on the other hand, now back into the inside line. That's Villa. And Manu Villa overtakes Garcia, with Frankie doing the same on Anderson. Side by side for the two. For now, everything remains quite calm, although I'm already looking forward for these two that are remaining one after the other for once. Side by side here. Oh, that's a huge lunge from Frankie that nearly crashes into Garcia that had to take evasive action, and Stop Car now overtook the car that we were following. Although Frankie back into 11th with a better run in the exit. Oh, contact into the wall. And while all of that was happening, I admit I missed the switch for position in first place. Cavalli now leads the way ahead of everybody else. As of now, well, even earlier to be fair, he is about to win the championship. And remember, he will not be here next week, so this is his effective match point. But for now, he would go home with the win, both in the race and in the championship. But even a second place will be enough, as Black is in 6th. No changes here. Meanwhile, can say the same here, as there is a side-by-side between the 111, and that was Albert with Stopka on the inside, really launching the car and hoping for a positive result, which happened. And also behind Müller and Dicker, with Müller on the inside, the number 61 against the place on the number 29, and Müller now in 16th place. Still not over between Albert and Anderson, with Anderson now in 14th, maybe 13th, as he lunges into the inside, and there could be a chance to get even 12th place. Never mind, because Anderson had a terrible exit out of the hairpin, so nothing will happen. Still here between 6th and 7th place. Let's see if something changes here into turn 1. Actually 2. No, nothing happens. Actually, something changes here, as Kua is back ahead of Black. But Black has the inside line, and 34. A bit in danger, but not behind his rival. So now Black remains in 6th. Defending as hard as possible the inside, as Garcia also lost the place on Villa. Cavalli already gaining time on Gallardo. And Okubo probably has to move on, because Gallardo could become an impediment for his current results. Even because Fricker is very close to them. Last lap it was Okubo's best personal lap. And then Gallardo certainly had a lap, not the best one. And nearly contact between the 23 and the 77 with Fricker that was very close to the Japanese driver. As that was as close as possible of a close call. That was the close call of the close calls between Villa and Galaxy, with Villa that definitely breaks at the wrong spot, and the number 87 that was on the outside still is on the outside, but then it becomes the inside and he gets a place. Meanwhile here Albert goes for a switch and then into the wall for Albert, losing not one but 2 places. Stopka and Anderson overtaking Anderson there. Stopka and Anderson overtaking Albert, sorry. As Cavalli is... Oh no, what happened? Oh, that's a disconnection! Oh, that's a disconnection! Disaster for Cavalli! Everything is gone for Cavalli. This could be the championship gone. Disaster! Complete disaster in the championship. Meanwhile, Fricker goes into the inside, and that's second place for Fricker. What is happening into the championship? Everything I said until now, scratch it, burn it, throw it away. Literally ignore it, because now Gallardo could actually win the championship. He's ahead of everyone into the race. Cavalli will not be there into the next race, and as of now, let me have a look at the championship. Yes, it is close, but it's still not over. Although Gallardo will jump a lot closer to Cavalli, who, as of now, will still be leading the championship, but just narrowly. About 300 points. I didn't really count exactly how many points individually. Now, Python Fricker. Yep, disconnection. Cavalli disconnected, and that's a DNF, an effective DNF, because of this connection. And all of a sudden Gallardo is... I'm not sure actually, let me see, because now Black is in 5th. I missed the overtake. On... Oh no, wait, he's in 5th, obviously. Everyone jumped a place. I'm a bit dumb. Everyone jumped a place, so now Black is in 5th and Gallardo is in 1st, but remember that between the two, there was some gap. There were 260 points, and the 5th place, I can't remember how many points you get. I have to check, but that is the race going on. So, probably, we'll see later. When things calm down, I will see. Right now, I can't. It's really problems. I think it's 1. Maybe because I remember seeing only 1 drop on, but I admit having to do commentaries on 4 different championships, I might be mistaken. So I need confirmation. Last lap it was at 01.4 for Gallardo, 01.8 for Fricker, 01.8 also for Kubo, and 01.8 also for Kirillov. Black 01.7, although with a damaged car, and Koa just behind with a 01.8, 02.2 for Galaxy. Villa just set his personal best, 01.8, 02.0 for Frankie, 02.3 for Garcia. Anderson's 01.5 is still not enough to jump Garcia, 02.3 for Albert. With a 02.4 for Stopka. Casero follows in 14th with a 02.6 in the last lap. Muller's 02.3 in 15th, 02.4 for Zalewski in 16th, then Mashas, Dicker and Irwin in 19th, and last running on track. The closest battle on track right now is the one for 5th place. Probably just calm down a bit because now Garcia is behind Anderson. So I suppose a mistake for Garcia. And Anderson now has a bit of clean air to get behind Frankie. Zalewski also about to overtake Miller for 15th, although a bit too close on the wall. And the number 88 is not yet able to make the pass. Mashas could use his rival as a tool. And ultimately Miller remains in 15th place, with Mashas going on the inside into the first hairpin. There's a 29 making the pass on Zalewski, who himself was trying to put forward an overtake. Fricker is very, very close to Gallardo, although that was a pass between Anderson and Villa. Yes, it was. Anderson now finds himself in 8th all of a sudden. And as I was watching here, oh, there's a lot of contact with Python Fricker and really Gallardo still. Oh, that's nearly a crash between the two. Clearly, in great anger with one another. I suppose there was more than a tap. And now Python Frecker, the British driver, is now in first place with Gallardo in second. But it doesn't feel like it was a clean overtake. As the car is now heavily damaged also. So I wonder if it was an incident between the two. As the British driver defends the inside line. I will try to see if I can put the replay forward as quickly as I can, because it doesn't seem like the two are having a calm fight, let's say, and that's Gallardo probably going back for first place and into the second hairpin. That's the number 22 that jumps ahead of the number 23. With possibly a chance for Okubo to also get ahead of the two battling. Simul contact. Gallardo remains on the inner part of the circuit. The Frecker that clearly wants to pass Gallardo for the win, and he does so now into the chicane, although two can't pass, so it will remain like this for now. But I really want to see what happened, but I just need a calm moment, which clearly is not happening anytime soon. With the British driver that goes once again into first place. It's like changing positions. With Okubo that is clearly trying to find an open window to jump ahead of the two battling for a possible win. That's Okubo also about to take a bit of an evasive action. And apparently this is my moment. Let's go into the replay. See how it happened. If I might. So here it seems like it's still... Oh, this happened. So let's see quickly how it went. Oh, that's a dive! So that's why two were battling. It was simply a dive between the two. And now Okubo just overtook Frecker into the second hairpin. And they just demolished the graphics, so don't look at the finish. It's still 19 minutes to go. With Frecker going back into second. The number 23. Oh, a bit of a tap on the wall. But Gallardo has a good chance to create some gap between himself and Frecker. There's a Kubo follows in third. They tried to put... Oh, Garcia. There's a DNF for Garcia in the number 87. So for now it's still quite calm here for first place. So apparently the aggressive reaction from Gallardo was simply because of a huge dive bomb from the number 23 into the first hairpin, not for an incident. I don't think it's over. I actually think it's just going to start again. There are still 17 laps in this race. Maybe actually 16. But as you can see, Gallardo already defending heavily the inside, fortifying even the inside line. Doesn't seem like anything is going to happen anytime soon. But if I had this time, still behind. To the first hairpin. It's been very close between the two. Let's go for an onboard camera for the car number 23. Looking forward for a possible move into the second hairpin, but that doesn't happen. With Gallardo always defending in a nearly perfect manner. And without a way to pass around American driver. Oh, that was a Kubo a bit, maybe a bit too optimistic into the hairpin, and he had to take an evasive action to avoid crashing into the other cars. Meanwhile, Anderson on the other side of the half straight goes into the inside, and that's Galaxy losing the place on Anderson, who is having a way better second half of the race compared to the first half of the same. Galaxy actually defends on the outside. The cutback in place. Anderson is now back into 7th. The other number 23, this time the one in 2nd place. Very close to his rival. 1.6, 1.5, 1.5 for the top 3. And that's Fricker going long on the brakes, but still hitting the apex. So now Fricker is ahead of the rest. Slightly on the wall for both Fricker and Gallardo. Kubo once again is always there, but not there enough to attempt an overtake. He's always been following these two. It was free earlier. But once again, Forget the fence. With the racing wheel fully on the left. When he wasn't even turning anymore. He was just trying to brake in time. And he did so. Let's go in Okubo's point of view. As number 22. Now going on the inside of the number 23. Can it be for Gallardo? On the inside he goes. But he goes also a bit long on exit. Although that's a good enough line to retain first place. Once again into the inside, can it be? Oh, it's very close between the two. It is very close, but as always, it's just me about to have an heart attack because of the moves being put in place. Still 11 minutes to go. Effectively, this means about 10 laps till the end. And for this lap, and this lap only, there is some briefing. Hey, here! Hey, it was a bit slightly an exaggeration on the braking marker for Frecker. As a Kubo was a bit closer, but if the 77 would have taken the optimal racing line, I think there could have been an overtake between Okubo and Frecker. And all of a sudden, Krylov is starting to become a danger. These three have been fighting for so long, and now Krylov is 2 seconds only behind. Again, 6 times between Gallardo and Frecker. Okubo could have a possibility to jump into second. But once again, the 23 had a near perfect, never mind. No, that's not a near perfect, that's far from perfect. Hitting the wall on the outside. Yeah, no, Okubo can't pass. It's just enough for Frecker to remain in second. .1 for Gallardo. It was a bit of a slow lap compared to Frecker, who even by hitting the wall, he set a very good lap time. But once again, 3 cars are taking different lines, and none of them are taking advantage of the others. Kubo, pretty poor exit, so this leaves Frecker without having to look in the mirrors for once. And look at that, Krylov, 101.5, best personal lap, and 1.8 seconds. 1.8 seconds behind Okubo. The Japanese, it has to move up. With 8 minutes to go. Still a lot up for grabs. 01.3, 01.4, 01.8, 01.6, and 01.5. So for this lap, the 5 cars were practically all on the same page. With the top 2 maybe a couple of pages ahead. Number 23, that is always taking very, very close lines to the wall, really using every single part of the circuit except the sidewalk. It's 1.6, it's 1.5, it's 1.5 even for Kubo, and Kirillov this time lost some ground. That's an attack for the British driver on the American with the number 22 that didn't have an effective line to go. Nearly into the wall once again with Freker that effectively is attacking very, very harshly. But number 22 is still alongside the British. And again into the wall, this time a bit more evidently with American that impacted hard with the concrete wall, and now Kubo is in second place. Can he be first? For the Japanese, not yet, but the number 23 didn't have the best outside line out of the second hairpin. Gallardo will be furious with the British. He will be furious with the number 23. With a Kubo that unfortunately will have to either defend or let him through. And actually, nothing happens at all. All of them went a bit too late on the brakes with Gallardo. Slightly better than the rest, but not enough. So he will remain in third with a Kubo still second with a win that is meters away. But number 23 is going to probably run away with this with 5 minutes to go. And now look at that, Kirillov 1.6 behind, Black another second behind. This could actually be the battle for the win among 5 drivers, not 3 anymore. If something happens to these 3, it could actually be a 5-way battle for first. Through goes Kubo. Yeah, I could have done it. Just shouting in the same tone as Crofty. It's 1.7 for both Freker and Kubo. Gallardo 0.2.1. A bit of a poor lap for the American. 1.9. It could have been better for Kirillov. 1.7. Certainly a good lap for Black, who could actually be back at least in contention for 4th. Who knows, even the podium could be a chance. Certainly a good question to pose to ourselves. It's 1.2. It was actually the best lap of the entire race for Freker in the last lap. 0.1.2, 0.1.4. Best personal lap, but not enough to beat Freker's one. Gallardo 0.1.8. Probably the damage is starting to ruin his lap times. Black 0.3, and that is important because Kirillov is only 7 times ahead now. Okay. Again, 0.4, 0.4 for the top two. Can this actually be the order for podium? With Kirov, that is not really getting close to Gallardo. If anything, it's Black that is starting to appear dangerous. And Kawa, earlier on he was battling with Black, basically with Sword and Shield, and now he's nearly 5 seconds behind, so a bit of a fall off for the Canadian driver. 1 minute and 45 seconds, 2 laps to go. The number 23 that is probably going to win unless something incredible happens and Okubo magically finds himself in first. Last lap it was better for Okubo, not quite, but it was tied with Fricker, but he still needs something more that is clearly not there yet. A dive in the last lap. Could that be an answer? 4 times behind. It is as close as it gets. And the Kubo still behind Fricker. A white flag. Brought to you by GSI. 1.2 actually. It was a very good lap for Kubo. But into the hairpin. The first one for the last time. And that's the British driver defending as much as possible the inside line. With both cars on the curb. For how much they wanted to cut. To the chicane, nothing happens. So the last effective possibility for the Japanese driver is to launch himself at the second hairpin and then hoping nothing bad happens. Can he make it? No, he doesn't. He wanted to make it, but there wasn't enough space, there wasn't enough time, and there certainly wasn't enough grip for Okubo. And this means Python Fricker wins the 11th round of the GSI MX5 Cup with Okubo in second, Gallardo third, Krylov completing in fourth, Black in fifth, Kaua that's 6th place, and Anderson really having a very good second half of the race. 7th for the American driver, 8th place for Galaxy, just ahead of Villa, with Frankie completing your top 10. And then we got Jesse Albert in 11th place. Stopka follows in 12th with Mashas in 13th, Casero in 14th place, Zalewski in 15th, and Miller that just overtook Dicker for the position. Dicker in 17th, Irwin in 18th, and that was Cavalli that ultimately at least tried to unlap himself once on Garcia, but that's still 20th place for the Brazilian driver. The full standings that will be shown shortly. The thing is certain, and just to be safe, I had to get another look, and yes, it was three rounds, 3 drop rounds. So this means this is effectively, I think, impossible for everyone but the Brazilian to win the championship. Just to be safe about it, let me quickly check. But yeah, it's definitely not enough because I'm pretty sure Gallardo had to win to at least have an opportunity, and Black's the same. That didn't happen, so theoretically this should be your championship winner. Eduardo Cavalli should be your championship winner for the Pro Series by GSI in the Mazda MX5 Cup. I'm trying to see if there is any chance for the other cars to even get close. There is a 7,060 points should be the final tally for Cavalli. And yeah, definitely that's possibly it for the championship. Cavalli is your championship winner ultimately, because even with a 0 from tonight, it is 3 drop rounds. Leonardo said it was 1, but actually it is 3, and effectively the battle is only for second place with Jack Black and Ray Gallardo still in it. And I'm pretty sure that also Okubo is out of contention for a podium position. I wonder if the results are already on. So, you know, it's still Sonoma. Definitely the championship after tonight. I really think the only chance for both Black and Gallardo to still be in the championship was to at least win. But that didn't happen for both, with Gallardo in 3rd, Black in 5th. So for 2nd and 3rd it is still very much a question mark, but for 1st, Cavalli was lucky enough that his 2 rivals weren't on the top spot. So that's the championship for the Brazilian driver. With a beautiful race from everyone involved. Let me just see if I can put the results on screen. Not yet. It's impressive when you see all the races in the championship, only 2 without this one being counted. So effectively, out of 11 rounds, only 3 didn't have Eduardo Cavalli as your winner. With the 4th race at Zuzou and the Phillip Island round, where Cavalli wasn't even present, and this one where disconnection happened. But let's see the results. These are still from Sonoma. In the meantime, the Discord message being sent, the link to the Discord message, I suppose it is the steward race that will happen at the end of the week. Okay, it doesn't open. Very funny. Thank you, Twitch. Yes, it is. It is the Steward's Nightmare Machine, where you can choose whatever punishment for the stewards in which they have to race in. And if you didn't see, the next livery for LFM has been chosen, with a beautiful blue, white and lime livery that will be used from next year onwards. Let's see if I can show you at least the results. I know the championship takes a lot of time, but with the results, I'm not really cooperating here. At least I'm usually... We're already... on. We'll try another time, but just to be safe. Okay, it's still Sonoma. Odd. In any case, these are the prices for the podium sitters in the championship, with an FP V2 that will have to go to Edoardo Cavalli at this point, a GXL V2 for whoever arrives in second, and an Interlock Ultra for whoever goes on with the bronze medal in the championship. But regardless, these are all the prices in all the other Assetto Corsa championships that are being held in a low fuel motorsport. Really a huge thanks to all of our partners that they put their name here to let you have a commentary, a broadcast, and championships in which you can participate. But also, new addition, because this is the Le Mans Ultimate Pro Series schedule that is being held every Tuesday. I'm just trying to advertise it as much as possible because next season there will be an effective full-length championship in Le Mans Ultimate, if you didn't see it. But then there are still 3 rounds to go in the LMU Pro Series by Nitro Concepts. A half season, but still a season to watch. We'll tell another time for the results, otherwise... No, okay. Results aren't really working this time. Oh, okay. In any case, I was Cristian Romano. This was the GSI MX5 Pro Series. Thank you so much for having been here this evening. I hope you had good fun while watching it. And stay safe. Have a good evening, good night to everyone in the world. And see you next time. Bye.